what's the percentage of those who prospered from the industry versus those who didn't, quote unquote. You see what I'm saying? So if we got 40 million black people in America, quote unquote, whatever that number is, and 4 or 5 billionaires from the hip hop industry, is that properly proportioned to, or like how do we deal with that? And then the second part to the question, do we owe us reparations, rolling that into the hip hop industry perspective?
Great question. Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson spoke about our economic base from 1865 to now. And it confused a lot of people because they look out and they see these homes, these Bentleys. But what he was saying is our percentage of economics in 1865 was 1%. Now, let's look at hip hop. Let's say the first 5 years, hip hop only generated, let's say, $10 million. And we got 10% of that. So we made $1 million. But now hip hop is multi-trillion and we still getting the same 10%. It's just that the 10% looks greater because the proportion is greater. So now we see that 10%. It's not as $1 million. It could be $150 billion, but it's still only dispersed over 10%. And I use that number purposely because the Boule were the talented 10th who were put in place to give off the illusion that all of us were doing well. And it's just 10%. It's 10% that they can put in place that you are looking towards and saying, I want to be like them. But the collective of our people have not moved. And so Dr. Claude Anderson is 100% correct when he speaks about percentages. We didn't get a greater percentage. It's just that the percentage overall grew exponentially. And that same 10% now looks greater on paper. So a few more people got a few cars and a few extra trips, but the main majority of the people hasn't moved. And in terms of do we owe us reparations, we owe ourselves everything.